Yeah, welcome, race fans, to another CRN broadcast here over the Ultimate Conquest Racing League with the Man Cave After Dark Xfinity Series, powered by Max Graphics, of course. So if you're looking for a great livery, make sure you stop by Max Graphics and get you one. But yeah, tonight we are going to be at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, 0.57 miles, and tonight's temperature is about 82 degrees. So going to be a little, the track temperature is 82 degrees, air temperature is 78 degrees. Only got a 5-mile-an-hour wind out there. So pretty cool track. I don't think it's going to cause too many issues for these drivers, but these drivers love fast and slick races. Plenty of good racing going to be here tonight. Be followed up here shortly with Carl Handwork as my co-host, as he is on his way, as he's broadcasting another series here just before we kind of got to overlap the two series here. But Carl and myself are going to bring you great coverage here tonight, again from Nashville Fairgrounds. Be 150 laps here at this short track, so it should be a good one. Should be a pretty quick one, with all the green flag racing that this league has been putting on for the viewers and for themselves. I think they're up with like 98%, up in the 98th percentile under green, so that's a very, very high number for a league to be completing all the races, especially with the tracks that they have completed so far. Speaking, we'll go ahead and cover the points here just a little bit. I'll go ahead and bring you up their standings, and so you can see who is where who's in the standings here as far as UCRL goes here. So go ahead and bring those up. I gotta knock this out of the way. But you see JP Phillips still up on top, over Chris Bouchard, Grady Gherkin, Justin Kirby, and then Tommy Ryan for your top five. And then Trevor Hunt, Brent Kirby, Mike Ells, and Tanner Foster. Then Peter Pazuchek were your top 10. So great racing between all those individuals. Only 37 points separate the top two. And then depth of those are not the updated standings. I don't know why they're not showing. Hold on a second. I'm going to double check something here, folks. Make sure that we have the right standings here for everybody, because they don't seem to. Yep, JP Phillips is still on top of Chris Bouchard, but I wanted to get the standings here for the team standings. I have Black Magic Motorsports up top with 2761, over Mid-Pack Black Magic Motorsports with 2618, Turn Racing with 2390. So that'll be your team standings between those individuals, and those will last updated on the 14th. It just threw me off a little bit when it said round 4, but we are now on round 6. Here's our schedule for the rest of the season. It's going to be in Michigan next week, so one of my favorite tracks over there in Michigan, another 2-mile track, followed up by Charlotte Motor Speedway, another great track with plenty of decent turns, and then Circuit Girls Villanova, then off to Talladega, the Milwaukee Mile, Worldwide Technology. So if you're coming over from watching Sport Racing, you will see that they were just there tonight in the same exact car. So we'll see another great race there at that very unique track. And off to Iowa, Kentucky, Richmond, Nashville Super Speedway, Dover International, Myrtle Beach, and then off to Atlanta for your 20-race season. So far, so good. We're off here tonight to start round number 7 at Nashville. You see practice is now concluding here with JP Phillips on top, so points later being the fastest at practice, followed by last week's winner Trevor Hunt, so 18.670, and then 18.7 for those top two positions. The drivers are about to take the field here tonight to finish and get themselves a good qualifying run. We'll go ahead and ride on board with Trevor Hunt, so we'll just go ahead and Up on the top of the number 59 here and watch him complete his qualifying lap as we start tonight's race. You see the 59 using the upper side of the track to not too happy with that start, crossing the start finish line, but he's going to reset the car and give it another go. So we'll go ahead and hop on board with the number 97 of Tanner Coster sporting that all that DuPont type paint scheme here tonight. Chris Richard pulling in a time of 19.257 to take provisional pole. Tanner going down low, drifting out just a little bit, trying to get a nice little diamond going. Head down the back stretch. Keep that car down the outside. You can hear the front pushing out as he was entering in the corner just a little bit hot. That start finish line for a 19.129, good enough for a P number 4 currently. JP Phillips pulling in at 18.813 so far here for qualifying to take the provisional pole away from Jeff Ryan, and then Chris Bouchard sitting in with a P number 3 with 18.943. So 3 drivers able to break that 18-second mark. Jake Lesh putting an outstanding time in with 18.896. Grady Gherkin in the number 46 will pull off an 18.898, again taking that number 3 spot away from a few other drivers. So great qualifying, 12 drivers in qualifying right now. It looks like we have about a 17 car field here, so a little lighter here on the field. So some people obviously with work commitments and stuff not being able to make it tonight, but obviously hopefully they tune in when they can to watch their fellow drivers out here at race tonight. But either case, it's going to be a great one here tonight, as we've seen every single week prior to tonight. We take down the schedule here and focus in. Maybe we'll catch some of these drivers getting around here to see Simmons there coming in with a P number 6 there with an 18.964 and that number 49 machine. So Matt's been having some pretty decent runs ever since I got the chance to hang out with him and run a quick little 6-hour race at Sebring with Matt, just kind of opening relations and getting that just get out there and meet other drivers, meet other people, and have fun over iRacing, as there's plenty of great drivers out there and great people to meet. But Justin Kirby is going to go ahead and pull off a 18.808 and that number 58 machine, taking away that provisional pole from JP Phillips. So good job there by the number 58. It looks like everybody has taking their time and gotten a decent run there. Tommy Ryan still out on the track trying to better his time of a 19.341 as he works his way down the front stretch there, and he will, yes, better his time by a lot with an 18.747, stealing that pole away from Justin Kirby. So great fast time there by the 99, and look forward to rooting on the 99 as he's in the car, like my favorite driver through the series here. As far as like I said, if I had to mirror a driver that I'd want to mimic on the track, it would be Tommy Ryan, as he is a very consistent. He's able to conserve them tires. He has a lot of great finishes, and that's just kind of one of those things you like to do out there. And Barry's out there. He's going to go out with Grady Gherkin and say hello to Barry out there, of course, and everybody else that stops in for the replay here. But yeah, it looks like Tommy Ryan is going to start tonight on the pole here as qualifying gets down to the end here. Only 20 seconds remaining. It looks like all the drivers have but 2 have gotten a time in. It looks like Trevor Hunt's going to elect not to qualify. Andrew Ratcliffe maybe showing up late here, and he's going to end up starting in the back as well. So those 2 drivers are going to have to drive through the field. So what will last week's winner do here tonight? Love to see that Nickelodeon machine back up to the front here again tonight, but he's going to start all the way dead last to start this race off. So we will go ahead, and now that the qualifying is over, we will get those results for you to show you shortly. Hide these logos. I'll empty this out, and we will bring up the results here. Qualify. We will show them. And here they are. So Tommy Ryan takes a pole here tonight over Justin Kirby on that front row. Then JP Phillips and Jay Glesh will occupy row number 2. Row number 3 will be Gray Gherkin and Jeff Ryan. Row number 4, Chris Bouchard, Matthew Simmons. Row number 5, Mike Ells and Dylan McDonald. Tanner Coster and Jeff Byers will occupy row number 6. Row number 7, Brent Kirby, along with Scott Bolster, James Stallone, and Andrew Ratcliffe will make up row number 8. And then back there in row number 9 is going to be Trevor Hunt for your 17 car field here tonight. So 18 drivers will take the field here tonight. Who will be your winner? Who will lead the most laps? Will there be any cautions? What can these drivers do here in this very short track here at Nashville? So just want to say thank you to all the fans out there. It's like we continue here at CRN to grow. You know, we're closing in on that 1,000 subscriber mark that we're trying to reach as a goal here of as we just broke our we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary come Thursday, I think it is, that CRN was created. So thanks to all the subscribers and fans and race fans and leagues out there that we've broadcasted in the past and to the future as we continue to bring great racing for iRacing drivers and anybody out there looking to have their races covered. You know, you can get a hold of me, myself, or any of the other CRN broadcasters and see if we have a time slot available for you. But tonight's race obviously sponsored by Max Graphics along with the iRacing podcast, and then also this is the Legion Bowl 150. So iRacers Lounge podcast. Don't forget to tune in afterwards, listen to the driver's thoughts and talk about iRacing. So, but Tommy Ryan, we're getting ready to start this race here tonight at Nashville as they follow the pace car around. Let me go ahead and bring up the ticker here so you guys can see what's going on along with the track map.
Yeah, I got a little worried there seeing the pace car coming out there with the lights off right away. I thought they were going to go firing off without everybody even out of the pits, but we're going to get fired off this time by 150 laps on tap here at Nashville. And Tommy Ryan going to lead them off. Barney waving the green flag, racing here at Nashville. So we got, 16 guys taking the green flag. I'm not sure if Matthew Simmons is going to be joining here or not, but good start by these guys. And this is going to be some quick racing here, as this is a quick little half-mile track. It's got some nice banking, but man, it can be bumpy. This thing could just be a bumpy, rough nightmare if you're not ready for it. You certainly want to put some practice laps down, but good start by these guys. Already starting to file into the single file, and hopefully we'll just have some nice, easy racing here for a little bit before these guys get to it.
Yeah, 150 laps sounds like a big number, but it's really not. And welcome into the booth there, Carl, as things have moved along pretty smoothly here so far tonight. Obviously, with Tommy Ryan starting out front on the pole over Justin Kirby, just taking the pole with the longest call for the last lap of qualifying, so makes it an interesting one. Yeah, but last week's winner back in the back, Trevor Hunt, already up 3 spots, but he's going to have to do a lot of work to work his way through the field. Also, Andrew Ratcliffe is start towards the back of the field as well. So number 24 and the 59 used to running up front. It's going to take them a lot of work to get up front, but the 24 might have started out of the pits here tonight, maybe getting a late start. But, you know, and I'd say it caused big problems, but he's still on the lead lap. He's got a lot of room to make, and you know, maybe it's that maybe he didn't get the practice that he wanted to start the race, and so. But anyways, he's out there, maybe getting used to the track, get warmed up, get with his teammates, what's working. But it looks like Matthew Simmons jumped to the pits. Not quite sure what was going on there, but it looks like Matthew Simmons is finally coming out of the pits. He's going to have a few laps to make up, as he's a few laps down.
It's still Tommy Ryan leading the way over Justin Kirby, Jake Lesh, and JP Phillips. Your top 4, Grady Gherkin in 5th. Jeff Ryan in 6th. Bouchard, McDonald, Byers, and Els making up the top 10. So, I mean, this is just, to me, it's a funky little half-mile track. It's almost got kind of 2 apexes in turn 1. I mean, you can certainly drive the bottom the entire way around turn 1. You can drive the second line around turn 1, but typically it almost seems like you almost kind of double apex. You kind of hit the bottom of turn 1, drift up a little bit, and then hit the bottom of turn 2, kind of drifting out. And that seems to be the preferred line, and you'll see a lot of guys using that line, but you'll see a lot of different lines. I mean, this is not one where it's just going to be a single groove the entire way. You'll probably just see a lot of guys hanging in behind each other for quite some time to just let this race kind of come to them and not burn off the tires. Obviously, Trevor Hunt doesn't want to just lose the pack. He's going to pick off guys when he can, as look like Tanner Coster there up a little bit close to the wall. Or was that Mike Ellis? Whoever it was. It was very close to getting the wall up there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting once it gets to the second half of this run, because I have a feeling coming off of these corners, off of turn 2 and turn 4, it's going to get a little bit loose, a little bit dicey, depending on how much these guys are using up their right rear in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's obviously all about kind of strategy, especially with these tires. You can get a pretty good. I have very limited time on this track, Carl, as you would imagine, and it's really hard to go so long. These drivers can go roughly 125 to 130 laps on a tank of gas. So to stay out there for that amount of time on one set of tires really is going to take some managing of using them tires. They're not driving in the corner too hard. I'm on board here with Tanner Coster. He's only down 1 spot right now, and he's doing a good job. You can see how early they let off going into the corner. They just get up to speed and let off, kind of let that car just drift almost all 3/4 of the way around the corner before that nose finally starts to come down, where they can get back on the gas. So doing a pretty good job. Everybody is pretty much a single file. Nobody has broken away too far yet, but we'll just kind of go up there with see what's going on with Tommy Ryan as he leads the pack as they close in on the back of Andrew Ratcliffe. Something we're not used to seeing, being Andrew in trouble, maybe going a lap down here early, as Tommy Ryan and the field are just running single file for the most part. Everybody just doing what they need to do to get around here, but you got Tommy Ryan, Justin Kirby, Jake Lesh having a fantastic run and start so far at number 51 and 22. JP Phillips in 4th, Grady Gherkin's in 5th, Jeff Ryan's in 6th, Chris Bouchard 7th, Dylan McDonald's in 8th, and Brent Kirby and Jeff Byers for your top 10.
Yeah, it's one of those things, they can make it 130 laps, but that also means they can't make it the entire distance. So it becomes the strategy of when do you want to come in. Obviously, a short pit is going to help you out. It's going to give you a lot of time out there on the track, as these guys, for their fast laps, they're running 19.3s and they're already up to 19.5. So they've already lost 0.2 of a second in the first 18 laps or so. So once you get a little bit further into the run, you get close to that 75 lap mark, it's going to be even a lot more slower. So do you decide to come in right around the 75 and split it right in half? Do you decide to try and run it maybe to lap 90 or even to lap 100 and come in? It's a lot of different strategies, and then do you feel like there could be a caution? It's really going to throw a lot of different strategies into play here. But yeah, seeing that 24 at the front of the pack is something we're used to seeing, but not in this way, not in the way of seeing him about to get lapped. And yeah, it very well could be him getting into the session late and just not getting a chance to feel out this car. And still a long race, and he's not a lap down yet, but I'm sure he's not gonna hamper these guys at all. He's not going to try and get in the way. If he goes lap down, it is what it is. He'll still be the lucky dog position, and if a caution were to come out, he gets it right back. But yeah, this is not what we're used to seeing here with a 24.
Yeah, I mean, the 24 obviously at this position is not where he wants to be, and Andrew's not the type of driver. If he was holding up the field, he would let the drivers go by. But right now, he's just really kind of just trying to get that car going around here to see where he stands. I guess with the leaders, even. I mean, it's a kind of a little mini test, or if he was running in MP number 2 or the lead himself to see if he can actually stay up there. So he's going to need that quick caution in order right now to kind of catch back up quickly to the end of the field. But he goes a lap down. Obviously, Lucky Dogs will play, and he will be able to catch back up and be in that position. But right now the 24 is doing what he can to hold the 99 at bay, and I'm sure the 99 is not trying to burn up his tires too much, as the 24 isn't slowing him up too much. But right there, it just seems like mid-corner, the 99 is getting a little more run on that 24, but he's closely behind him is that number 58 at Justin Kirby, having a really good run here this week. And then Jake Lesh back there in P at number 3, that purple number 51. Your points leader overall is JP Phillips is sitting in P number 1, and then Grady Gergen there in in 5th. Jeff Ryan obviously is in 6th, having a great run. And then Chris Richard, our number 2 points guy, sitting back there currently at P number 7.
Yeah, if we can get the relative on the ticker on the top instead of the best lap, just to see where those guys are in relation to each other. But yeah, I mean, all in all, a good start by these guys, and just kind of feeling out the track. You see a lot of guys running some different lines already. You see, Bouchard right there just up a little bit higher, and it may not seem like much, but it's where the car feels right, and it's where the driver feels comfortable getting into the corners. You see him just a little bit higher there than Jeff Ryan getting in the corner, and then he gets down a little bit lower coming off the corner. You see the run that he gets by doing that. He gets just a little bit more speed from that line, and it may be the line where he likes to drive to save those tires. We'll see how it all plays out, as we've got quite a distance yet, as we are on lap number 29 here. And you see Ratcliffe did indeed get passed by your leader Tommy Ryan, and now he is right in front of Justin Kirby, as these guys getting a little spicy there coming off of the corner there for Jeff Ryan. Gets pretty sideways. Great save there from the 67. But his tires are going to be mighty angry for the next couple laps, and I wouldn't be surprised if he drops back a few more positions. I just see Brent Kirby now going to the outside, trying to make a move, and getting a little close there, coming off of the corner, as Jeff Ryan doing his best to try and fight and hang on to 8th position.
Yeah, it's tough, you running that low line, trying to get the car to stick so you can get the runoff out the corner. The top side always tends to be able to carry more speed as you can pinch somebody down towards the bottom, and they have to slow the inner lane down in order to get it to rotate. So when they get on the gas, they're pretty much, their momentum's gone. So 57 makes a clean pass there on the 67. For Pete, number 8, Tommy Ryan. I go back up there real quick. He is still out front over Justin Kirby, but he's got a 1 second gap there. And that 24 maybe holding up to Justin just a little bit as he has to work his way around there. The 58 now taking down to the inside. 24 is going to move to the high side. Then you see back in P number 3 as JP Phillips got around Jake Lesh. Moved that number 22 back up into a podium's position. Looking good here so far tonight.
I mean, you mentioned earlier about the 99 being the guy that you watch and maybe not necessarily root for, but the one that you'd kind of mirror your driving style off of. And obviously the guy that I've been pulling for this season is JP Phillips. He is your points leader for a reason. He's been the most consistent, but it's just been cracking that top step on the podium for him this year has not come to fruition yet, as he has got 4 top 5s out of the 6 races so far, and only one other driver can boast that same result, and that is Tommy Ryan, your leader right now. But Tommy's got 2 wins also, to his credit. He's the only one with 2 wins here on the season, as we got 3 other drivers, actually 4 other drivers with a win. That equals 6, 4 plus 2. But it is the 22 that doesn't have a win yet, and that's kind of been surprising. I mean, he's been at the front, it seems like the entire season, but just has not either had the speed or the strategy or what have you to kind of finish it out and grab that top spot. But another good run here so far as he sits there in third. But Justin Kirby, another one that's, has had a pretty good season so far. I haven't seen him as much towards the front, but doing a good job here. He sits in fourth in the point standings, and he's another one that's just, kind of collected some good finishes throughout the season so far. Has not grabbed a win yet, as Gherkin gets a bit squirrely there, trying to make the pass on Lesh, as they're almost 3 wide going into turn number 1 there, as Bouchard gets here in the mix as well, as these guys are battling for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
And great clean race, and you can see the 46 trying to use that out there inside, and you got a little squirrely there, trying to get on the gas maybe a little bit too early or too much, allowing the 51 to go by, and now the 28, Chris Bouchard makes that move. Obviously back there, the 24 of Andrew Ratcliffe, not in the position he wants to be in, but because he always loves to be up front, but right now kind of hanging with Grady Gherkin, as he just got just kind of wait his time, wait for things to kind of happen for that 24 here tonight, as things start late. But right now, Tommy Ryan is still up front, enjoying that 1.3 second lead over Justin Kirby back there in P number 2 and then number 58. And then back to JP Phillips, and then Jake Lesh and Chris Bouchard are still battling out there for P number 4. So great battles all around. Also back in the pack, back here with Jeff Ryan, doing battle with Dylan McDonald just in front of him, and followed by him, the other Kirby brother, up 4 spots, sitting at P number 9. And then you got Tanner Coster following them close behind as well. Maybe the 59 of Trevor Hunt, trying to avoid the cameras here early on as he started from the back, but he's been making his way through the field here so far, up 5 spots in P number 12 in that Nickelodeon machine. The Black Magic Motorsports moving forward here tonight. Mike Ellis falling back a few spots in that number 8 Excedrin, and then I would need a lot of Excedrin to get around this track. It's a short one here. Then back there in James Stallone in the number 9 Napa machine. Scott Bolster back there in the Bluey number 45, and currently in P number 15. Still on the lead lap. Andrew Ratcliffe 1 lap down in 16th currently. Down but not out. Then Matthew Simmons with the late start, a few laps down here tonight right now, but anything can happen. It's still early, but not the start that number 49 machine wanted here tonight.
But a good start for the 59 Trevor Hunt, and for the 57 of Brent Kirby, your hardest charge of the race, along with Dylan McDonald there in 6th position, as Tanner Coster drops back a little bit, and Jake Lesh now dropping all the way back to 10th position. So really starting to slide back there is the 51. But good start, obviously, for the 99 of Tommy Ryan, and Jake Lesh now bringing it into the pits. It looks like he's got some damage to that front right. Not sure how much he's been into the wall, but it's enough to bring it in here. And this is quite early here for a pit stop, unless these guys plan on actually making this a 2-stop race. He's going to be bringing it in here on lap 49 to get some service, and they're going to be taking, it looks like, at least 2 tires, probably 4, and I don't see a fast repair being used, so maybe not enough damage to utilize it just yet. Again, still kind of early, but he is going to go down, looks like possibly 2 laps here in pit lane, and that's one of the things here. Caution at the wrong time can absolutely kill you on these short tracks. It's bad enough when you get some of these big tracks, you go down a lap, but a lap you can get back. You can get it back by taking a wave around. You can get the lucky dog. You get to one of these shorter tracks and the caution comes out at the wrong time, and you're down 2 laps, or like Jake Lesh right now is actually down 3 laps. I mean, that's pretty much your race, unless you were in there with a bunch of other people.
Yeah, and we're not quite sure what happened, Jake, as we're kind of going around the field, kind of seeing what everybody's doing. But there's Jake coming out So now, obviously, I'll just go ahead and show the difference here when Jake pitted lap 47 and 47, or excuse me, basically 52 lap newer tires. How much faster will that 51 be? And this is going to kind of be a test. And it's unfortunate that Jake's going to be the guinea pig here, for the other drivers to kind of see where they stand as he's going to go ahead and try to close in on the leader. And we'll see how easy it is for Jake to get around the 99. But it looks like, tires that are 50 laps newer are pretty easy.
Pretty easily, Jimmy, man. He just ran him right down, and you see Tommy Ryan not doing anything to hamper at all, but he does want to see that 51 sliding around as soon as he gets past him, for sure. But Lesh is going to get one of those laps back, so now he is back to 3 laps down as he was just coming out and went 4 laps down, but gets into the wall again. Doesn't want to keep doing that, as it's going to be a lot longer of a race if he's going to keep wearing down that right side. But Tommy Ryan still leads the way here by about 1 1/4 seconds over Justin Kirby. JP Phillips in third, another 2.5 seconds back. Chris Richard and Grady Gherkin, your top 5. Dylan McDonald, Jeff Ryan, Brett Kirby, Tanner Koster, and Trevor Hunt, your top 10.
Yeah, back here with Dylan McDonald. Up 4 spots from the start. So Dylan having a great run, here tonight at Nashville, and running that Jimmy Strong paint scheme. He was the sponsor the previous 2 races, but not the one here tonight. But still running that cool paint scheme that has a great meaning behind it, and what he believes in. So, but Dylan had a gut check a few weeks ago. He came out here and he's like, man, I feel so slow. But, he finds himself here right now in P number 6. So, obviously something's, clicking with him and this car and being around these other drivers that, will continue to race them clean. So, whether it's patience from Dylan's side of things, or he's just learning some new lines. And, that's what a lot of, and a caution comes out. This looks like something happened with Jeff Byers.
Yeah, in turn number 2.
We'll go ahead and look at Jeff, see what happened.
Just got sideways going into the corner already and taking a weird angle into turn number 1. Sideways in front of the 9 of James DeLone, but James is going to be able to get around on the outside. So it'll be a single car spin here as the 76 is going to slide down to the inside line. Matthew Simmons is going to go around on the outside, and then your leader coming by right there, Tommy Ryan, takes the evasive action, goes to the outside. But that is going to bring us to our first caution. And Jimmy, this time I was along for the ride. This time I seen what the caution was here for the first time. But good run here as they made it to right about the 3rd way mark, just past 50 laps here in the race. And pit road is mighty busy, as you would expect, as everybody coming down into pit lane going to be taking 4 fresh tires for sure and getting back out there. It looks like Jake Lesh is going to stay out, and again, this is a situation where I just said it. It's hard when you come in. He obviously felt like he needed to come into the pits right there, did Jake Lesh, but now he is going to be 2 laps down, I believe, once he gets the wave around here. As actually he's 2 laps down right now, so he'll get the wave around, rejoin the pack. But he's going to need at least another caution, or possibly 2, just to kind of re-rack and get back to a chance to kind of start picking off some positions on the lead lap. And it's a real shame, because he was running very well before he started falling back there inside the top 5, and just a couple of missteps and a couple of pushes to the wall, and that 51 has a fight on his hands for the rest of this race.
Definitely has a fight, and we've seen it in a lot of races, and a lot of times when you're in a field with such great talent that, it's the mistake, the small mistake that will cost you a race, and it kind of stinks, sometimes, or if you can't make it back up. So, but the 51 has some work to do. He has some driving to work his way back up to where he before he fell back. But right now, the guy on top is going to be Tommy Ryan, followed by Justin Kirby and JP Phillips there for your 1, 2, 3. Then back there you got Chris Bouchard, Grady Kirkin, Dylan McDonald, Jeff Ryan, Brent Kirby, Tanner Coster, and Trevor Hunt for your top 10.
I'm wondering, did we see somebody get the lucky dog there other than Andrew Ratcliffe? Because I did not see him get the lucky dog unless
Scott Bolster.
Scott Bolster got okay. So they must have just passed Scott before the caution there, which is the big blow there for Andrew. So now he is going to have to try and fight once again to just try and get that lap back. But at least he is going to join at the back of the packing and maybe learn from the other drivers out here if he's still struggling to try and find his line. These guys are going to double it back up. It is still Tommy Ryan, Justin Kirby at the front, JP Phillips, Chris Bouchard making up row number 2, Brady Gherkin, Dylan McDonald that make up row number 3 here for the restart, which is going to be on lap 64. Going to complete lap 64 on to lap 65 here of 150. So not at the halfway just yet. Plenty of racing for these guys. But Tommy Ryan on the loud pedal, and we're racing again here at Nashville.
Yeah, Tommy gonna lead him down in turn 1 and get back out in front there over Justin Kirby, nice and clean. So everybody's gonna follow in single file. Doesn't look like too much happening except back here around Trevor Hunt. Looking to get around the 97 of Tanner Coster, looking to that inside and using that grip of them fresh tires to get that pass done here early.
And again, Trevor doesn't want to, just drive as hard as he can drive right now to get around these guys, but he's still going to pick off the drivers as quick as possible to try and work his way back up there if he wants to have a chance at back-to-back here. But battle now for 5th and 6th as McDonald goes around the outside of Gherkin and move McDonald back up into the top 5 here. Well, actually not back up into, but into the top 5. Driving a little bit aggressive here on the restart. And again, it's real easy to do. I mean, there's so many leagues, especially like over, obviously in Core, we run a lot of leagues with 50% fuel. These guys can just, can go hard pretty much right from the rip and use up those tires. These guys running 100% fuel, they have to be considerate of the fact that they're good to go now to the end on fuel. So if this thing goes green, knowing that you're going down 2-3 laps, it's probably not worth actually coming in at all. So we'll see what these guys do. Again, if we get another caution, everybody's dumped in the pits and everybody's getting those fresh tires. But the fact that they're good to go to the end, at least under our calculations here, you got to be really mindful of having to make those tires go about 85 laps.
That's a long time. Tires, I'll tell you that right now. And I've done a few of the races with UCRL. Not in the Xfinity cars, but in the Gen 4 cars, and definitely a lot of fun and learned a lot and had a blast doing it. And like I said, the racing is some of the best that you can get out there. And as far as being in a race with a bunch of other drivers, it's not your standard official race, but there's no really other place to really kind of practice that full tank run, Carl, unless you do some of the races like official or like another league or officials, whether you're doing like the NIS races where the pretty much it's like half a regular race, and where you actually have to practice your pit stops, you have to utilize saving tires, and know how to run corners, not just hot laps, how to actually run a race, running race laps, not hot laps as we call them, especially in road racing, but your qualifying laps. So it's a different game, it's a different strategy, and it's somebody can just not qualify well. Sometimes you got that one guy, he qualifies really well and he's really fast and he gets out there and he leads a bunch of laps and then he falls off because he burned up his tires, and there's all kinds of drivers out there. There's so many people that run iRacing, and it's a good thing that we're able to get together in small groups or leagues and run these great races like that we see here with UCRL. But another great run here so far. But back up here with the number 46 looking to that inside to take that position away from Dylan McDonald. So the battle for fifth between that 46 and 09 kind of stirring up there a little bit.
It was kind of amazing, early on in my iRacing career, hopping into leagues or like you say, some of these longer races where you're using a full tank and making a full run with whatever car it is, whether it's trucks or Xfinity or the Cup cars, and I'd get in there and I'd be racing against some guys that had a lot higher I ratings than me, and I'm passing them and I'm pulling away from them. I'm like, okay. Maybe I'm better than what I expected. And then you realize why. Because getting towards the middle and the end of that run, all of a sudden they're past you and they're checking out at half a second a clip because you just absolutely burned off those tires running your hot laps are running as fast as you can for the first 15-20 laps when the entire run is maybe 50 or 60 laps. So you're absolutely cooked for that the ending of that run, and which you may have had a 1 second lead at the time. All of a sudden it's you're back there in 10th, 6 seconds back. So it's humbling when you first do it the first couple times and realize, yeah, it's not just go as fast as you can as long as you can. You really have to be mindful of everything that you're doing in the car.
Yeah, there's more to it than just they call it light switching. Foot on the gas, foot off the gas, foot on the gas, foot off the gas. So you can't just do that. And I learned quickly, and it's iRacing was designed to be as close to a race car as possible, and they got there and have fun and try to mimic that. And there's a lot of drivers that use it, not only for like learning the tracks, but learning some of the lines and where the breaking points are. And yes, there's going to be differences. You're not going to feel the total G's and the different sounds that might be out there, but it does a pretty good close setup. Takes a lot of time off, a lot of the time that the drivers actually real race car drivers need in the car. But yeah, it's a great thing that they got here, and they made it available in somewhat affordable to the general population. So but yeah, have a great time out here sharing and showing this to everybody, and the drivers can look back and see their races and just see that they had a good time, and catching little things like the battle or the slides. And that's why I try to float around on the field as much as possible and keep an eye on where the battles are, like right now. And I try not to broadcaster's curse, but the 59's up 8 spots, Carl. So making a quick work out of a few drivers so far, but we're on lap 85 of 150, so already over the halfway mark by quite a bit. So these drivers here are making this one a quick one here tonight as these laps click on by. But Tommy Ryan doing a fantastic job holding off the pack and the charge of Justin Kirby and Chris Bouchard.
Yeah, one thing he's not doing, he's not checking out at all from the field on this one, as the top 5 only separated by, and it's a quick calculation, by about 2 seconds here, as the top 3 are pretty much right on top of each other. Justin Kirby has not let Tommy Ryan check out at all. Chris Bouchard right there, JP Phillips, Grady Gherkin, your top 5 right now, and all those guys have checked out by a good margin over the rest of the field. He got about a second and a half now back to 6th place and Dylan McDonald. So not sure if Dylan used up his tires a little bit extra trying to get past Grady and the restart there, but either way, we are looks like I think 13 guys on the lead lap right now. Andrew Ratcliffe, the first car, 1 lap down, and he's trying to hold on to that lucky dog position, hoping there is another caution, but Justin Kirby's hoping that there is a way around this 99 because he's got some speed and he wants to taste that front, and he wants to get some clean air on that 59, or actually the 58.
58?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's 59 for so long.
Yeah, it's been it's different. Obviously following somebody and being out front. It's like having a whole new race car. Being able to be out in that clean air, and the 58 of Justin Kirby doing a fantastic job just working that rear bumper of the 99 of Tommy Ryan. Trying to make things work here, obviously. Trying to put himself in a position to maybe get that win here, and maybe at least finish on the podium here, of course. But you got 28 of Chris Richard. Obviously trying to gain time there and points on JP Phillips, but JP Phillips not too far behind, and P number 4 and that number 22 Spider Machine. And Spider Wire Machine doing a great job. And another in for the running as well. The number 46 of Grady Kirkin is back up into Pete number 5. Dylan McDonald, a great showing, obviously, there in Pete number 6, but lost his P5 spot. Then you got that nice battle here with Jeff Ryan, Brent Kirby, and Trevor Hunt for Pete number 7. So keep an eye on that 59, and especially if another caution comes out, I want to be surprised to see that 59 floating around up in the top 5 or fight for a position. Oh, the 57 goes down low.
Big slide there off the corner for the 57 of Brent Kirby. Good save, as I think could have easily snapped back to the right and taken out the back half of this field, especially right there, 24 of Andrew Ratcliffe. But now he's going to have to calm that car down, calm those tires down for a couple laps, as it's not going to be happy. And you see Ratcliffe making the move on by. He's just trying to stay as close to the front as possible to make sure that if another car goes a lap down, he can get past them quickly and stay in the lucky dog spot. But that was certainly a moment there for the 57.
Yeah, and we talk about we've seen how the 57 had to check up because he either he entered the corner too fast, or got on the brakes too hard. You got that car a little bit loose, trying to get it around. But when we talk about calming the tires down, it would just basically put too much heat in them, and they become greasy. So then the tires become slick, and you can't get on the gas like you want to. In order to manage them tires, you got to bring that temperature back down a little bit. So, it's back in the corner up. You're going to be a little bit slower for a lap or two to bring them tires back under control, where you can control that car and have some good laps here. But yeah, so tough break there for Brent Kirby and then 57, losing a few positions in the midst of it. But here 59 making another move on the 67 of Jeff Ryan to move himself into P number 7.
One more spot for the 59 to get towards the front of the pack, and he's up 10 spots now, up from 17th spot. But up at the front, the 99 of Tommy Ryan now getting a little bit further away from Justin Kirby here at the front of the pack, as these guys are closing in on the 45 of Matthew Simmons lap car in 17th right now. But it looks like the top 3 are the ones that are checking out. Justin Kirby and Chris Bouchard joining Tommy Ryan. And you got a bit of a gap back to JP Phillips and Grady Gherkin in your top 5. We are past 100 laps now. We got 50 laps to go here in this race. Again, I don't believe these guys need to make another pit stop, so it's all going to be who saves the tires, but caution out, and it's right in front of our leaders as well. Doesn't look like anybody got involved. I see Matthew Simmons, it looks like, is the one that has brought out this caution, getting it a little hot into turn number 3, looping it around, and going to catch a bit of the inside wall here as well. But luckily, I don't believe any other cars were involved in this one, but it's going to bring out another caution and another round of pit stops. So, Jimmy, now they are officially good to go on fuel for sure, as they made a good 50-lap run there. But now everybody on fresh tires, and do you have to save at this point? I mean, you got less than 50 laps to go. I think these guys may be able to go a little bit harder here.
Yeah, so now with less than 50 laps, I think these drivers here, obviously making sure they put the proper amount of fuel in and taking them 4 sets of tires. You see the 99 Tommy Ryan's going to win the race off pit road, and it's Chris Bouchard almost was able to make it past Justin Kirby. So, Andrew Ratcliffe is going to get back on the lead lap, as he was in danger of losing that lucky dog spot one more time here, but the caution came out just in time for that number 24. That 24 is going to be able to make the way around. So will 24 have enough time to maybe make his way up to the field and get some positions made up as he was the lucky dog. But you know, there's a few drivers out in front of Tommy looking to get some laps back there. Yeah, I see Matthew Simmons and Jake Lesh as well. Go ahead and bring up the little timing tower here, show you the gap who's on the lead lap. So got 14 cars on the lead lap, and then see Byers, Lesh, and Simmons obviously a few laps down. So a few drivers still need to work their way around, but it looks like the two drivers in front of the leaders should get a wave around here shortly.
Left now, finally gets in the back of the pack, so he'll be able to make his pit stop this time by, as we should still have 2 laps to go here before we get back going to green. But top 2 remain the same. It is still Tommy Ryan and Justin Kirby at the front. Chris Bouchard, the new man, that is in 3rd place right now. JP Phillips is back to 4th here for the restart. Gherkin in 5th. But I mean, all in all, these guys have pretty much held serve at the front of the pack. I mean, you know, Tommy Ryan, Justin Kirby starting on the front row. They're still up there, and everybody that started at the front, you know, up there, other than Jake Lesh. But Jake, one of those cars at the front there, gonna get a wave around as he goes by right now. Matthew Simmons getting the wave around as well, and that's going to bring Jake one step closer to getting back on the lead lap. He is now only down 1 lap, and we said it's going to take some doing, and it's going to take a lot of fight out of that 51 team, but so far so good. He would love to see another quick caution, maybe not so quick. He wants to get past Jeff Byers first if he's going to get back in the lucky dog position, but they are going to catch the back of the pack. We are going to go green flag racing one more time. Tommy Ryan on the loud pedal. We're racing here again. We are past 100, and looking to get past is the 58 of Justin Kirby, trying to make a run here on the 99 as we have got 44 laps to go.
And back here with the points later, getting some pressure by the 59. For that beat in number 5 position, and obviously you see down there the 97 Tanner Coster trying to get underneath Dylan McDonald in the 09, but not being able to make it to work. Jeff Ryan in that 67 on that outside now. So the 97 of Tanner Coster having a little bit of trouble trying to get on the power to get around anybody. Ooh, a little bit of check up there by the 57, so that was a close one. A good driving there by Brent. Wouldn't expect anything less, but that was a close one. As a 57 did not want to get into the 67, and the 57 had the checkup for him.
Yeah, I mean, if the 58 was there in front of the 57, just in front of Brent, I'm sure Brent would have just probably turned him, you know, clearly. But got to throw it out there at least once. But Andrew Ratcliffe has now finally rejoined these guys on the lead lap, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably aren't happy about that, as now they're going to have to battle him for position as he tries to get to the inside. Mike Ells right now for 11th spot. So Ratcliffe maybe you know, took the first 100 laps and was down a lap, but got to learn the track a little bit, got to learn the setup, and we'll see what he can do in the later portion of this race. See if he can work his way back up and maybe grab a top 10 out of this yet. But out front, it is still Tommy Ryan over Justin Kirby by only about a quarter second right now. Chris Bouchard, Grady Gherkin, and JP Phillips, your top 5.
I can't believe how fast this race is going, Carl. Already at lap 113 of 150. And, you know, it's been all Tommy Ryan, Justin Kirby, Chris Bouchard for the most part, as these drivers continue to battle with each other. Obviously, it looks like Grady Gherkin finally getting around JP Phillips. So, you know, it's not many points, but at least at some points, trying to make ground there on JP, as he's been having a very good and consistent run so far this season. And then obviously last week's winner, I'm not quite sure what happened or why he didn't get a time in. You know, whether he scraped the wall or whatever it may have been, trying to push that 59, but fantastic run there by the 59, up 11 spots and in Pete number 6. Then back
We've
here
got
battling
another yellow flag. As trying to see who involved. It looked like the 9 was possibly involved, maybe the 51 or the 45. I see them all slow on the backstretch.
The 9 and James Stallone. Oh, there they are. That was right in front of the 45. Yep. Pause that and we'll rewind that so you can kind of see what happened here. What brought out the caution. Oops. Just past the start finish line. Ooh, the 45. A little tap into the 9. So, 2-car contact with the slide. Bring out the caution here late at Nashville.
So very interesting, some split strategies here. Some guys coming in for the pit stop and other guys staying out. Looks like JP Phillips electing for 2 tires, as will Andrew Ratcliffe. The rest of the guys that came into the pits are going to be going for the 4-tire strategy, but a few guys staying out. Grady Gherkin, Brent Kirby, Mike Ells, and Scott Bolster all staying out and not coming in at least that time by. We'll see if anybody decides to jump in the pits here before this thing gets back to green, but really 3 different strategies now. The guys that stayed out, the guys that took 2, the guys that took 4. We'll see what's going to play out here. We're going to be going green again here, and we're going to have about 30 laps to go, Jimmy. Obviously, you want to be the guys back there on the 4 tires, but I mean, these guys didn't have that many laps on these tires. They just pit right there on lap 102. What are you feeling right now? What are you feeling like? What might be the good strategy here?
Well, obviously, the drivers that came in at lap 102, the last caution, not too long ago, only a few laps on those tires, and obviously, with them having to drive them cars conservatively, they should be in pretty decent shape. But we've seen how fast that some of the vehicles were with brand new tires. So will them two tire strategies of like JP Phillips and work in order to net them a podium finish here tonight? We're going to go ahead and obviously we're going to see here shortly as we're on lap 119 of 150. Grady Gherkin out front over Grady Gherkin over Brent Kirby, Mike Ells, Scott Bolster, and back there in fifth to be Tommy Ron, JP Phillips, Justin Kirby, Andrew Ratcliffe, Chris Richard, and Trevor Hunt, and Pete number 10.
Yeah, I think the only thing that stayed the same here is Kirby is in second, but this time it is Brent Kirby instead of Justin Kirby, as those guys shuffle back a little bit further in the pack due to the pit stop here, but we're doubling it up here. Going to be going green. It will be 30 to go at the line. How long can the guys that stayed out hold off the guys that have fresh tires? Is it going to make that much of a difference? Again, only about 10 laps of green flag racing on those tires there for the guys up front. So if they can hold them off for just a little bit, those tires will start evening out. But it is Grady Gherkin on the loud pedal, again racing here at Nashville.
And Grady with a fantastic start over the whole field. He's able to jump up, but it's going to be his limit. Check a 3 wide with Tommy Ryan. Go between Scott Bolster and JP Phillips. So what a move there by the number 99 as he works his way up. Andrew Ratcliffe, trying to get up there as well. Scott kind of hang up there on the outside, so making it tough for the other drivers to get by, but everybody's keeping it clean. 99 making his way very, very quickly as the 57 goes up high. Still a little bit of 3 wide back in the back, but it looks like the number 28, Chris Bouchard, is going to bring out the caution here on lap 122 of 150. Cautions breeding cautions here late at the UCRL at Nashville. We'll go back and cover this. It's a little bit of bump between the 59 and 28. Sends the 28 for a ride. Nobody else involved here late.
Yeah, it looked like there was a bit of a check. I'm not sure if that was it looked like the 58 was a little slow.
Yeah.
28 maybe went to go to the high side, but the 59 was a little bit away from the wall, and that ended up starting that one right there. Some impact for Chris Bouchard into the inside wall, but everybody else making it through.
Yeah, just as after the fact in the next corner.
Yeah, very close right there with the 58 and 59, but 3 wide battling right from the rip there. And you see Tommy Ryan knew that he needed to get up there to the front as quick as possible because the tires will start evening out quickly, and he knows he needs to have those fresh tires to make that pass. We'll see if any of those guys that stayed out now decide to come in. Obviously, Chris Bouchard coming in here and going to get some repairs done and going to get some fresh tires, but he looks like going to lose a lap or two as well. Right there, the 51 going around the outside. That is Jake Lesh, Mr. Lucky Dog. Going around, he will join the field back on the lead lap. So congrats to the 51 hanging in there. He was down at 1.4 laps, and with 26 to go right now, he is back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's able to. He finally took that faster pair. He's got 4 fresh tires. Going to match up to the back of the field. So is it going to be enough here? Is that 10 laps going to be enough for him to work his way back up through the field? You've seen how fast those 4 new tires was able to kind of eat up the guys that decided to stay out, and the other drivers that decided to take 2. But Grady Gherkin is up front there in the 46. One of those drivers that stayed out, and then obviously Brent Kirby as well. Tommy Ryan is up there in P number 3. Mike Ells. Also another one of those drivers that stayed out. He's falling back to P number 4. So Tommy Ryan making its way through. JP Phillips is up to P number 5. Andrew Radcliffe basically, kind of made out. Started late, went a lap down, missed the first caution. They're just riding around, just taking his time, staying out of trouble. Is all the way up to P number 6, up 10 spots, along with Trevor Hunt, who is right behind him, and number 59, also up 10 spots, starting from the back. But biggest mover of the night is the number 57 right now of Brent Kirby, currently in P number 2.
Yeah, just a textbook, simple race there for the 24 of Andrew Radcliffe. And you can say the same thing there for Trevor Hunt, the 59, starting in the back of the field and had to work his way difficultly through this field. But both those guys now find themselves inside the top 10. We're doubling up. We're going to be going back green next time by. There's going to be 23 laps to go. How long can Gherkin and Brent Kirby hold off Tommy Ryan and JP Phillips, as they will line up right behind them? And both those guys eager to get this thing going and use up those fresh tires, try and make some passes, and we'll see if it goes 3 wide again on the restart. But it is the 46 back on the lap pedal, racing here again. 23 laps to go at Nashville.
Yeah, easily through Trevor Hunt at 24, taking him 3 wide. It's got squeak with 57 on, stuck on the outside, gets into the 24 just a little bit. Gonna put him up to the wall. 57 is gonna hold on to it. Ooh, and bang it a little bit. There's some action back in the back, and it looks like the 67 of Tommy Ryan is gonna go around 45. Gets in the side of him. It's gonna bring out another caution here with 22 laps to go.
Yeah, the 57 a little bit slow from getting into the wall there, and really just couldn't get off the wall, trying to work it down there, but gets into the wall again. Tanner Coster involved, the 45 of Scott Bolster involved.
No,
and you see the melee right here, the 67 of Jeff Ryan getting hooked there as well. But you see the man right there, the 51 of Jake Lesh, finally gets back on the lead lap. This is the last thing that he wanted to see once he rejoined these guys. But perfect evasive maneuver, stays outside the green cone, drops down to the bottom, gets around all this melee. And this was, I guess you can call it the little big one here at Nashville, late in the race here. And Tommy Ryan now moves himself into second place. He's going to start on the front row with Grady Gherkin, JP Phillips in third, Trevor Hunt all the way up to fourth place right now, Andrew Radcliffe in fifth. So this is going to get quite interesting now on this restart. Obviously, still going to be controlled by the 46 of Gherkin, but Tommy Ryan has those fresher tires. We'll see if he sends it on Gherkin there in turn number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be hard for Grady, but obviously with only 20 laps to go, I mean, the 99 is really going to have to work that rear bumper. But you see JP Phillips also in a position here for a great finish here tonight, and making some, more advances there on the 28 of Chris Bouchard, has fallen all the way back to P number 15. So JP looking to extend his lead in the points overall here tonight. So maybe that's a little bit, maybe that's kind of resting in the back of JP Phillips' mind as well. Obviously, we know he wants to get up there and get that win. But will he be a little more conservative to take advantage of tonight's separation of points as far as these drivers are out here on the track tonight? But right now it's Grady Gierke, Tommy Ryan, JP Phillips, Trevor Hunt, Andrew Ratcliffe, Mike Ells, Justin Kirby, Dylan McDonald, Tanner Coster, and Jake Lesh. Obviously, there's a few drivers not out here tonight on the track. And, I'm missing the Spider-Man, Peter Pazuchik, not out here tonight as well. So maybe he's just out, obviously doing other things. But missing the two there of Peter Pazuchik here tonight. But obviously, give him a shout out because he's just always been around and good sportsman as far as and driver here with UCRL. But Grady Gierke leads the race, leads the pack right now under caution. 18 laps to go as we cross the line. So looking up to be a good one here. But I think this is the most caution they've had in a race in a while, Carl. And I, have to say it's short track mayhem.
I was waiting for you to bring up the short track. It's been quite a while. I mean, almost through the entire race here, but yeah, it's well, I think it's a little bit of like you mentioned earlier too, cautions and breeding cautions that can happen at any track, a short track or a even a super speedway. But we're gonna get back going here. Grady Gierke would love to try and put another notch in the belt here and grab win number 2 on the season. Try to close that gap on JP Phillips here as he entered the night in 3rd in points, tied for 3rd with Justin Kirby, 70 points back, so he's got to try and start clawing his way, but a spider wire right up on the back bumper. JP Phillips trying to stay with Gierke on the restart here, would love to get with Tommy Ryan and maybe get around the outside of him, but not going to happen yet. Gierke is going to have the lead, but it's going to be side by side, I think down the backstretch, side by side back here with the 24 and 59. Tommy Ryan now going to the inside for the lead. Little sideways, back and forth on the front stretch. And that's to the delight of Gierke as it's going to wear down those tires a little bit for the 99. And Gherkin's going to fight back on the outside. I feel like this is probably going to be a losing battle, though, as those newer tires are going to eventually prevail. And Tommy Ryan, indeed, going to take over first place. JP Phillips now is going to be the next in line. He would love to get to the inside and try and make that pass as well to try and stay with Tommy Ryan and have a chance at this win.
Okay, he's got his hands full on them a little bit older tires, but doing a fantastic job taking what he can. But a little bit of a battle going on there. Back there in 9th place with Tanner Coster and Dylan McDonald, 4P and number 8 as they're working side by side. Jake Lesh right there, in a speedy car, had the speed, just been laps down here, finally got back up on the lead lap, currently sitting in P number 11 and 10 as he's trading with that 57 of Brent Kirby back here in mid-pack. And Jake comes down to the inside, down that apron. Oh, that's a heck of a turn, but he got together there just a little bit with that 76 of Jeff Byers. So good save by all of them drivers all around, because that was getting to be a little bit ugly, a little bit of bumping and banging between Dylan McDonald and Brent Kirby for heat number 9 and 10. But back up front, it is all Tommy Ryan. He's been able to make it around Grady Gierke in the 46, JP Phillips in the 22, in P number 3, but looking right behind him, the 59 of Trevor Hunt, who started in the back, followed with Andrew Ratcliffe, starting almost immediately, almost a lap down, sitting in P number 5. So good run there for those two cars. And you have Justin Kirby, Mike Ells, Tanner Coster, Brett Kirby, Dylan McDonald for your top 10 here at Nashville with 10 laps to go.
These guys trying to close it out here, and Tommy Ryan certainly would love to close it out here and grab himself another victory on the season to make it 3. And in prime position right now, doing a great job this entire race. As trying to take a look, I'm losing like everything right now, but there we go. Okay, everything coming back now. But yeah, Tommy Ryan again has pretty much been dominant this entire race, but the late kind of shake up with the pit strategies put him back a little bit, and you see now once he gets to the front, he is trying to stretch out again. But good on the little pickle that could. Grady Gierke holding off points leader right now. JP Phillips who is in third place and would certainly love to get around that 46 and keep tight with Tommy Ryan here to the end, as we are now 6 laps to go. But Gherkin making those a little bit older tires work right now, just 14 lap older tires than everybody that is around him right now, the guy in front and all the guys that are chasing him. But making it work right now. Unfortunately, see there Jake Lesh at the bottom of the track, not the way he wanted to see his night end, but he's going to bring it into pit lane. 5 to go here at Nashville.
Yeah, 5 to go, and Tommy, looks like you have a pretty good lead. Is Grady Gherkin just don't quite have the tires. He just needs a good run, or for Tommy to make a mistake, which is would be very rare of Tommy, obviously. And I guess my broadcaster curse doesn't seem to affect the 99 too much, Carl.
Not at all, but we've got another caution here late. Don't say it just yet. Dylan McDonald looks like he's involved in this one, and we'll see how it happened. Looks like gets together a little bit.
Oh, too much on the gas.
Just a little bit loose and just could not save it down the front stretch, locks it up. And that will bring out another late caution here. We're about to go into overtime here at Nashville.
Yeah, so this will be the one and only green white checker that these drivers get here in this series. But only 3 laps to go, but it's going to make things interesting. Who is going to use it to their advantage? I don't think anybody has extra tires in the bank. I mean, they do get 4 tires over the wall, so there could be that one driver that has a fresh set that might be able to use their way to make their way back up to the field, or maybe get a spot or 2 in the back. So we do have 12 drivers still in the lead lap. You see Dylan McDonald down in the pits right now, getting some fresh tires. So this might be what Dylan needs to get a couple spots back to maybe get back into the top 10.
This is exactly what the 28, the Chris Bouchard needed, as he is going to be the lucky dog here and rejoin this field on the lead lap coming into the race here. Second in points. Certainly did not want to be stuck a lap down like he was for the longest time, but now back on the lead lap, he can try and see if he can make his way up to a top 10 position. I know if I'm Bouchard, if I got any kind of tires left in the bank, I'm coming in right here and getting a fresh set of tires on here so I can try and make some kind of charge through the field. But the rest of these guys not giving up any track position. Nobody coming in. It looks like maybe Scott Bolster. Yeah, Scott Bolster coming into pit lane here, just outside the top 10. We'll see if he can make any kind of charge up through the field. I mean, it's definitely worth the risk if you're in the back of the pack here. You're not giving up anything other than a lap. If you get caught a lap down here, Bolster's going to have to hustle on to get out there, and he will stay on the lead lap. But, I mean, you come out, you're going to have 30 lap fresher tires than everybody else. It's got to feel good at the very least, if not gain you 3-4 positions potentially.
Yeah, you just have to be really careful, because obviously the newer tires, a lot more grip and not much gas, or little less gas. So you're going to be tempted to enter a turn a little bit, obviously a little bit more harder, and there's no heat in them tires. So hopefully you can get a little bit of heat as you break out of the pits and you catch up to the back of the pack. So you see the 45 getting the back of the pack now as that little last Skittle catches up to the back of the field. But lights are still in the pace car. They should go off this time by, and we'll see the drivers double up right now.
Chris Bouchard now coming into pit lane, so hopefully this isn't his pit stop to take 4 tires, as I don't think he realized there was going to be 1 to go. So he is now going to come back out, and I think that was a missed opportunity there for the 28 team. We're going to double them up here. We're going to get fired off. Green, white, checkered, overtime action here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. And it is Tommy Ryan, Grady Gherkin on the front row, JP Phillips, Trevor Hunt in the second row. Ryan on the loud pedal. We're racing here again. And for Grady Gherkin, he is going to have a battle on his hands on the inside with JP Phillips going through turns 1 and 2. Heading down the backstretch. Still side by side, Trevor Hunt trying to get into the action as well. Phillips trying to use those pressure tires, but gets a little loose. 1 lap to go here. And Trevor Hunt getting into the mix here, trying to get up there and grab a podium away from JP Phillips late in this race. Hard racing into the final corners, little bumping and banging. Tommy Ryan, your winner. Grady Gherkin in second, side-by-side banging. It is going to be JP Phillips sideways carnage at the line.
Wow.
Sounds about right. And yeah, I think we'll have to have a photo finish of that, but it was definitely sideways. JP Phillips at the line. We'll take a look at it again here. Little bumping and banging through turns 3 and 4, and then Trevor Hunt getting a little bit sideways, getting into the 22. You see Kirby goes to the bottom to try and grab some spots, but unfortunately, it is going to be the 22 sideways for third, the 59 sideways for fourth, and then I believe it was the 24 of Ratcliffe coming all the way back for a top 5, so a great run by him. Justin Kirby going to settle for 6th place. But, yeah, what a finish, and I think aptly so that these guys wreck coming to the line to finish this one off, as that was a good finish there.
Definitely a good finish by all the drivers in general, and you don't think that's there's so much competition, and just I think the frustration of a few cautions maybe throughout the race, and especially towards the end, really get them drivers, and then really the green white checker is like, they're trying to be, you can see them trying to be respectful, but trying to get the power down on the track, and it just wasn't happening with some of them older tires, and obviously it resulted in a slideways finish. But the 22 and the 59 able to take third and fourth with the assist of the 24 pushing them by. But great run for all the drivers out there. Biggest mover of the race, obviously Trevor Hunt didn't get a qualifying time in, up 13 spots. Andrew Ratcliffe finishing 11th. We talked about him as he was a lap down, was able to get that back, finishing in P number 5. So great run for the number 24. Obviously not able to come in the booth as he likes talking to us, but also Justin Kirby's in 6th. Tanner Coster, great run, up 4 spots in 7th. Brent Kirby's in 8th, up 5 spots. Third, up 3 spots is Jeff Byers, and then 10th was Mike Ells. 11th with Dylan McDonald. 12th Scott Bolster. Chris Bouchard will finish 13th tonight. Jeff Ryan in 14th. 15th Matthew Simmons, and Jake Lesh finishes in 16th, and James DeLone will finish in 17th here for our 17 driver field.
We have got our top 3 keyed up and ready to discuss. I think our first driver here, 3rd place, JP Phillips, may need to be shaking the cobwebs off a little bit from coming home sideways. But Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our 3rd place finisher here, the 22 of JP Phillips.
Hey JP, it was like one heck of a race there. Pretty much all race, you found yourself up in the top 5 for a majority of the race, and there at the end, obviously with everybody being side by side, trying to race for position. I see that you guys kind of just got together just a little bit, and your car just happened to be the one that went sideways, collecting the 59 and had the 24 kind of push you guys to the finish. But so it made it for an exciting 3rd place finish, but another great run by the 22. Give us a little rundown of how your race was for you here tonight.
Yeah, man, I'll take 3rd place. These short tracks are not my best, and to come home 3rd place, that's pretty awesome. Great race in there with Trevor and Grady. I was pretty content actually with 3rd, and that last caution came out, and I was like, oh my goodness, I know this is going to be pretty hectic, but hey, we made it. Great pit call. The 2 tires probably is what got me the podium. Otherwise, I'd been back there in that mess. So really excited.
Yeah, there's nothing to be excited, and with Chris Bouchard, your competition, 2nd place points is going to extend your lead in the championship points race. So, how do you take the rest of the season? And are you still out there, obviously, to try to win everything, or are you just going to continue this run of all these consistent finishes?
Yeah, you know what? I got pretty down on myself at Auto Club because I got away from my strategy there, and I really think that I gave one away. But then, you know what? I thought about it, and I'm like, the best way to run this is just go out there and run my races. I know I can finish in the top 5 at all these tracks, and if the win's meant to be, it'll come one of these days.
We'll continue to chase that win, but until then, the consistency is winning you the overall championship right at the moment. So again, congratulations on that third place finish. I'll give you a little bit of time for any thanks and shout outs you may have here tonight.
Just a real big shout out to Trevor and Tommy and all the guys at Black Magic. I bet you I ran 1,000 laps at this place this week trying to get the hang of it. So, and makes it a little easier when those guys are on track with you. So appreciate those guys. Appreciate you guys for taking the time to broadcast these things. A lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun out there. The fun that I can't have. So again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Michigan.
Thanks, guys.
That was third place finish here tonight, the 22 JP Phillips, and I think there was a little Freudian slip there when he went to say short track. I think he said short crap, and I feel like he won you over there a little bit. He made a little bit of a smile. I could hear it come over your face. But we'll bring in now second place finisher here tonight, the 46 of Grady Gherkin. And Grady, you came into those last couple cautions. You had a little bit older tires than everybody else, but only by about maybe 10 green flag laps. But, I mean, those guys just absolutely charged through the other guys behind you that didn't pit and got right to your back bumper right away. Were you feeling after that second last caution that this is going to be really tough to hang on to the lead?
So once I saw them coming, once I realized that everybody else pit, basically, except for me, I knew I was going to be in trouble. But I kind of made my bed, so when the next caution came out, I decided there's no point in pitting. I'm going to be way in the back, and that's going to be harder to kind of come from than staying out on the older tires. So coming home in second place after staying out, that I'm pretty happy with that finish.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. I mean, it seemed like once Tommy got around you, the floodgates might have opened, but you shut him pretty quickly. I mean, you stayed right there in second. You had a lot of battling with JP Phillips, but you ran that middle line, and the run you were getting off the corners was just enough to hold them back every single time. So either way, I mean, it was a great run and possibly a good enough pit strategy call. Maybe not the one to get you the win here tonight, but second place here tonight after everything that went down is definitely going to feel pretty good.
Yeah. On that pit stop where they all came in, if I came in with them, I would still probably came back out in fifth or sixth, and I probably would have finished straight around there had I not gotten into any issues. So actually, I think that pit strategy of staying out probably was a gain for me.
Well, you gain a little bit of points here on JP Phillips, who finishes right behind you sideways. No, I don't think he gets any bonus points for style points, but either way, you finish ahead of him here and maybe start clawing into his points lead a little bit. You come in here 70 points behind, still plenty early in the season, but looking at the next couple races here coming up, you guys got Michigan, Charlotte, and Charcot Villeneuve as we head north of the border there for that one. Any tracks on the upcoming schedule that you're really looking forward to or maybe dreading?
Michigan definitely is a hometown track for me, and Jake as well. So I'm looking forward to going to that one. I usually run pretty good there. Of course, it's a lot like California. It's just fun to kind of rip around those tracks.
It's fantastic. Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, hopefully Tommy in this interview doesn't hate this track tonight too. But but I am definitely gonna have to go and get some practice at the road course coming up. I'll have to head up and maybe hang out with Peter in Canada for a little bit. But,
there you go.
So we'll have to put some extra laps into that one for sure.
Well, either way, you put the right amount of laps in here tonight to get second place. So congrats on your finish here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, shout out to the teammates, of course. Andrew recovered pretty good. He got back up there to fifth. Jake was running really good early on and then just had some troubles there midway through and kind of just continued on that route. But he's usually pretty quick here. I think we raced here in the trucks too, and he was faster than me for most of that race. But yeah, just thanks to Scott for the league. Setup was fun. Definitely was hard to pass here tonight, though. But and thank you guys for the broadcast. Hope it was a good race.
It absolutely was, and good finish here for you tonight. We'll see you next week at Michigan.
Sounds good.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 46 of Grady Gherkin. Finally, we bring in the winner here tonight, the 99 of Tommy Ryan. Jimmy, why don't you take it away?
Hey, Tommy, Jimmy Carl, up in the booth, you copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, welcome back, and another win underneath the belt for the season. Obviously just inching your way forward, with JP Phillips on the heels, finishing in third. It's hard to gain a lot of points on him for that championship run, but in either case, you had a great run here tonight, and right from the rip, from the pole, and then the battling, and then you're able to get around. Obviously, with Grady, you only electing a two-tire stop there and staying out kind of put him at a disadvantage, and once you got around him, it was, pretty much all she wrote in here for the closing laps of the race, and you didn't have to get involved in the carnage back for P number 3. But great run here tonight. Give us a little rundown on how you ran your race, and obviously there's not really much you could do to make it any better, as coming home first is the best thing you can do. But another great run here. Just give us a little rundown on how everything went for you.
Yeah, the main goal I wanted to do is just kind of maintain track position, because you know exactly what you said, even just back there in third or fourth place, just trying to navigate passes is so hard to do. And even when I had fresh tires and Grady was on, I don't know how many laps we did, 10, 12, it was still, somewhat pretty challenging to get around him. So I had to really abuse the tire to do that. But ultimately, got around him without killing us both or making a mistake. But yeah, it's just mainly just trying to keep track position. I knew I had to have tires. I knew some guys would gamble and stay out, but I wasn't going to waste any time to get everything that I earned. I wanted it back. So I was digging pretty hard. I knew I took some guys too wide, but when they slide up and it's there and you're on fresh tires, man, you got to go. If the tires start equalizing, man, you'll be in the soup. And there was a lot of stuff happening in the back, and I didn't want to have any part of it. That's what kind of got me at Phoenix last week. Made a mistake, spun out, got strung out in the back, and then end up, getting ran over and, gambled, stayed out for a while and see if I could get a lucky dog or a caution, but never did fall. So we just licked our wounds and come on over here, and we made up for it. So it was a good night, man. It was fun for the most part. The car was very challenging to drive. As soon as you got to about lap 30, the back of the car was really unhooked, and you were chasing the tail pretty much center out of both corners, and it was just who had the biggest kahunas to get back to the throttle the soonest and the hardest.
Yeah, it's always a challenging when you find that fine line of keeping the car straight and bringing it around, and obviously bringing it around was what brought out a few cautions here tonight. But anyways, the 99 finishes in first yet again this season, and we know your thoughts on Auto Club, that you quite did not like it. But next week we head off to Michigan, almost a mirror track of Auto Club, the 2-mile track. What's your thoughts and your feelings for next week?
Oh, you're exactly right the way I feel about California, but for some reason, Michigan doesn't register in my mind like California. So that should be a very fun track. It should be a good track for everybody here. We get to those 1.5 mile tracks, whatever, and it gets very competitive. So it should be a lot of fun. I look forward to getting that.
Well, in any case, we hope to see up front next week. But before we let you get out of here, we want to say congratulations. Give you a little bit of time for any shout-outs or things that you may have.
Yeah, thanks for my primary sponsor, Northern Tool and Equipment, and Black Magic Motorsports. Thanks, my guys, Trevor and JP and Jeff. We get very prepared when we hit the racetrack on Tuesday night, so we kind of know what's going on. And thanks to those guys, and thanks for Scott putting this show on. And we're ready to go after it again, man, next Tuesday.
Okay, we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate, and hopefully we'll see you next week over there at Michigan.
All right, man.
At your winner here tonight, the 99 of Tommy Ryan. And Yeah, a little bit of a caution, reading cautions. It's short track, and it could certainly happen here tonight. But other than that, I think there was a lot of good racing. It was difficult to pass here, but these guys found ways. I mean, you've seen a lot of the guys using the second line there late in the race, just like they were in the beginning of the race, using it to defend. They were actually using it to pass there, and really the three wide battling on the last couple of restarts there by Tommy Ryan, by JP Phillips, by Andrew Ratcliffe are the reason why they moved their way up there into the top 5, and a lot of good comebacks here tonight for sure. Obviously, Ratcliffe making it all the way up to P number 5 after being a lap down. Trevor Hunt starting in the back of the field, coming all the way back and finishing in 4th. We've seen Jake Lesh be 4 laps down before he made a charge all the way back up through the field, and fortunately getting caught up in the mess there at the end and finishing 12 laps down. But all in all, it was a short track, Jimmy, but I got the cure for you. We got Michigan next week, buddy. And you know how I feel. I know how you feel. It's one of those it's a great track. I mean, you get those 2-mile tri-ovals. You got 4 or 5 different lines that guys are running in there, and it usually puts on a great show.
Yeah, it's the uniqueness, how wide they are, and how many lines there are. It's not just a single groove track. There's 2, 3, and sometimes even 4, and it's not a super speedway. You can use the draft to save a little bit of fuel, but you really got to manage them tires within turns and stuff, and they're just. It's going to be great racing, and if Auto Club was any show of what it's going to mirror, the event's going to be awesome next week.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you. It is a super speedway. It's a speedway, and it's damn super. All right, so let's get that straight right now. But even after that, I mean, we got Charlotte coming up after that, and then we got Circuit Gilles Villeneuve to finish out the first half of the season. So. A great track next week. Charlotte, obviously a track that very familiar to these drivers. Should be a good race there as well. And then Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the newer, well, not newer track, but new to the series here. It'll be the first time, at least, we're seeing these guys head north of the border to a very interesting and going to be, I think, a difficult road course up there north of the border there for Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, but that's in a couple weeks. We got to finish out February 1st. We're going to do it next week at Michigan. Great one here tonight. Thank you to everybody that joined us here for the race. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that like and subscribe. Help us get up to 900 subscribers, and then help us reach that goal of 1,000 if you haven't yet. It's been great racing here across the board on CRN, so you're in the right place if you want to see some great racing. For myself and Jimmy here at Nashville for UCRL, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.